Hello students, welcome to the science class. Chapter name is cell structures. I am Kanchan Singh from RKG Educational College. So, cell structure and functions. So, we will discuss about cell structures and functions. What is the introductions of cell? You have already learned that things around us are either living or non-living. Further, you may recall that all the living organisms carry out certain basic functions. Can you list these functions? Different sets of organs perform the various functions you have listed. In this chapter, you shall learn about the basic structural unit of an organ, which is the cell. Cells may be compared to bricks. Bricks are assembled to make a building. Similarly, cells are assembled to make the body of every organism. जैसे कि ईंटों से हमारी बिल्डिंग्स बनती हैं, वैसे ही सेल से हमारी बॉडी बनती है. So, this is all the introduction of the cell. Discovery of the cell. Robert Hooke in 1665 observed slices of cork under a simple magnifying device. Cork is a part of the bark of a tree. He took thin slices of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partition boxes or compartments in the cork slice. So, रॉबर्ट हुक ने 1665 में इस प्रकार से सेल्स को डिस्कवर किया. So, this is cork cell as observed by Robert Hooke. The cell. Both bricks in a building and cell in the living organism are the basic structures of unit. The buildings, though built of similar bricks, have different designs, shapes, and size. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another, but all are made up of cells. Cells in the living organism are complex living structures. Unlike non-living bricks, the biggest single celled organism is the egg of an ostrich. So, जो ब्रिक्स जैसे बिल्डिंग बनाती है, वैसे सेल्स जो लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म है उनका स्ट्रक्चर बनाती है. सो जो सेल्स होती हैं वो आर द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ यूनिट होती है किसकी, लिविंग थिंग्स की. लाइक दिस अ ब्रिक वॉल एंड द ऑनियन पिल. Organisms show variety in cells, number, shapes, and size. What is this? How do scientists observe and study the living cells? उन्होंने कैसे living cells को observe किया? They use microscopes which magnify objects. Stains, dyes are used to color part of the cell to study the detailed structure. There are millions of living organisms. They are of different shapes and sizes. Their organs also vary in shape, size, and numbers of cells. Let us study about some of them. Okay. Numbers of cells. This picture shows that. Firstly, we can read. Can you guess the number of cells in a tall tree or in a huge animal like elephant? A billion in 1,000 million. A trillion is 1,000 billion. The numbers runs into billions and trillions. Human body has trillions of cells which vary in shapes and sizes. Different group of cells perform a variety of functions. So, जो हमारी बॉडी होती है वो ट्रिलियन बिलियंस ऑफ द सेल्स से मिलकर बनी होती है। जैसे कि ये एग्जांपल आप देख रहे हो, इट इज अ ट्री। जब हम लोगों ने ट्री को काटा तो वो इस फॉर्म में कुछ होता है। तो जब साइंटिस्ट ने इस ट्री का 1/3 पार्ट निकाला होगा तो उसमें क्या हुआ, एनुअल रिंग, रेज, फाइबर, वेसल्स, इट इज कॉल्ड अ जाइलम, इट इज बार्क, इट इज फॉर phylum, cork, cambium, seeds, tubes, cork, cambium, and this is all are means जितने भी ये जो पेड़ हैं बहुत सारे सेल्स से मिलकर बने होते हैं। अपवर्ड मूवमेंट ऑफ वाटर इन वेसल्स, वेसल्स मेंबर्स मीन्स इनके थ्रू जो वाटर है वो पेड़ के ऊपर जाता है। सो इट इज द कैम्पियन सेल्स, इट इज साइटोप्लाज्म, it is downward movement of sugar in sieves tubes, sieve space, plate, central vacuole. So this is the tree cells and so a billion in जैसे कि हाथी और ये क्या नाम है लिविंग थिंग्स में जैसे मनुष्य आता है, उसी प्रकार से ट्रीज में भी बहुत सारे सेल्स पाए जाते हैं। सो अ बिलियन इज द 1,000 million, a trillion is 1,000 billion. The numbers of runs into billions and trillions. Human body has trillion of cells which vary in shapes and size. Next. Numbers of cells. Organisms made of more than one cell are called multicellular. Multi means many, cellular cell organism. The numbers of cells being less in smaller organism doesn't in any way affect the functioning of the organism. You will be surprised to know that an organism will billions of cells begin life as a single cell, which is the fertilized egg. The fertilized egg cell multiplies and the numbers of cell increases as development proceeded. So this is nerve cell, red blood cells, smooth muscles, fat cells. So this type of cells in our body, and stem cell, and what is structural signaling nerves and myogenesis, and this type of cells occurs in our body. The single-celled organisms are called unicellular. The single-celled organisms are called unicellular. Uni means one and cellular means cells. So it is called a unicellular organism. A single celled organism perform all the necessary functions that multicellular organism performs. A single celled organism like amoeba captures and digests food. So this is the single celled organism, grows and reproduce. Similar function in multicellular organisms are carried out by groups of specialized cells forming different tissues. Tissues in turn from organs. This is the numbers of cells. Two cells are unicellulars and the multicellulars. Okay. Some of the unicellular organisms. This is amoeba and this is paramecium. This is the picture of amoeba and this is paramecium. This is the unicellular organism. Some others. This is RBC, means red blood cells. This is white blood cells, WBC, and this is nerve cells. So this is some examples of the unicellular organism also. Size of cells. The size of cells in living organisms may be as small as a million of a meter, micrometers or micron, or may be as large as a few centimeters. So ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा स्मॉल होते हैं, मीन्स सेंटीमीटर से भी छोटे, मीन्स एज अ सेंटीमीटर या सेंटीमीटर छोटे. However, most of the cells are microscopic in size and are not visible to the eyes also. They need to be enlarged or magnified by microscopes. The smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer in bacteria. तो बैक्टीरिया में जो सेल्स का साइज होता है वो 0.1 से 0.5 माइक्रोमीटर तक होता है. The largest cell measuring 170 mm into 130 mm is the egg of an ostrich. So 170 mm से 130 mm तक जो largest cell की measuring होती है वो होती है. So the smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer in bacteria, and the largest cells measuring is 170 mm to 130 mm. So this is the size of cells. The size of the cells has no relation with the size of the body of the animals and plants. It is not necessary that the cell is the elephant be much bigger than those in a rat. The size of the cell is related to its functions. For example, nerve cells both in the elephant and rat, means the nerve cells available in an elephant and rat also are long and branched. They perform the same function, that of transferring messages. So this is very common to nerve cells in both elephant and rat. So this is not depend upon sizes. Okay, sizes of cells. The size of the cell has no relation with the size of the body of the animals or plants. It is not necessary that the cell in the elephant is much bigger than those on the rat. Cells structures and functions. So you have learned that each living organism has many organs. You have studied in class 7th about the digestive organs, which together constitute the digestive system. Each organ in the systems perform different functions such as digestion, assimilation, and absorption. Similarly, different organs of a plant perform specific and specialized function. For example, roots help in the absorption of waters and minerals. So this is the cell's structures and functions. This is all about the cell's structures and functions. So each organ is further made up of smaller part called tissues. A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. Pali released that an organ is made up of tissues which in turn are made up of cells. The cell in a living organism is the basic structural unit. So the cell is the cell in the living organism is the basic structural unit. So this is cell, all about the cell structures and functions. Next, part of the cell. First, cell membrane. What is the cell membrane? The basic component of a cell are called cell membrane. Cytoplasm and nucleus. The cytoplasm and nucleus are enclosed within the cell membrane. also called the plasma membrane. It is also called a plasma membrane. The membrane separates cells from one another and also the cell from the surrounding mediums. The plasma membrane is porous and allows the movement of substance or materials both inward and outward. So it is all about the cell membrane. Part of the cells: nuclear membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus and cell membrane. This is the part of the cells. These are many parts of cell doing many functions. Let's see some of them in both of the cell. So, cytoplasm. It is the jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Okay, it is in the jelly form. Various other components or organelles of cells are present in the cytoplasm. These are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. You will learn about them in later classes. Okay, so cytoplasm, it is the jelly-like substance which is present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. What is nucleus? It is an important component of the living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of the cell. It is spherical and located in the center of the cell. It can be stained and seen easily with the help of a microscope. It can be stained and seen easily with the help of microscopes. Nucleus is separated from cytoplasm by a membrane called the nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of materials between the cytoplasm and the inside of the nucleus. So it is all about the nucleus. With the microscopes of higher magnification, we can see a smaller spherical body of the nucleus. It is called a nucleus. In addition, nucleus contains thread-like structures called chromosomes. These carry genes and helps in inheritance or transfer of characters from the parent to the offspring. The chromosomes can be seen only when the cell divides. Nucleus, in addition to its role in inheritance, act as control center of the activities of the cell. The entire content of the living cell is known as the protoplasm. It includes the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Protoplasm is called the living substance of the cells. So it is all about the nucleus. What is genes? Gene is a unit of inheritance in living organisms. It controls the transfer of hereditary characteristics from parents to offspring. This means that your parents pass some of their characteristics on to you. If your father has brown eyes, you may also have brown eyes. If your mother has curly hair, you might also end up having curly hair. However, the different combination of genes from parents result in different characteristics. So this is all about genes. Comparison of plants and animal cells. This is the picture of A and this is the picture of B. So this is the comparison between plants and animals. So cell membranes are same, vacuole are same, nucleus are same, cytoplasm are same. cell membrane and cell wall. Next, comparison of the plants and animal cells. So आप लोग इसका स्क्रीनशॉट लीजिए और इसको घर से करके लाइएगा कि जो प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स में है इस पिक्चर के अकॉर्डिंग क्या क्या कॉमन है। जैसे सेल मेम्ब्रेन दोनों में कॉमन है तो हम लोगों ने प्रेजेंट लगा दिया। जो सेल वॉल है प्लांट सेल में प्रेजेंट है बट एनिमल सेल में एब्सेंट है। ओके, तो हम लोग एक बार देख लेते हैं कि हम लोगों ने अभी तक क्या क्या पढ़ा। So cell structures and function. We discussed all about cells introductions, discovery of the cell, Robert Hooke 1665. Cells, हम लोगों ने cells के बारे में पढ़ा। This is the cells. This is examples of the cell. Organism shows variety in cells, number, shapes and sizes. Numbers of cells. Numbers of cells. The single-celled organisms are called unicellular organisms, and the multicellular organism performs. This is some examples of the unicellular organism. What? Amoeba, paramecium, red blood cells, white blood cells, and nerve cells. Size of the cells पढ़ा हम लोगों ने. Cells structures and function. What is the cell's structures and function? Part of the cell, cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus, gene. So this is all about the cells. Thank you, class.